Good morning,
Good
or
morning.
good afternoon in your case.
Oh, yeah, yeah. All right, please introduce us to yourself.
Well, my name is Alex. I go by Alejandro underscore Writes underscore here in the IG poetic world. And thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you for being here.
No problem. No problem. Of course.
So, what is a poetic voice?
A poetic voice. It's pretty much a page for, spoken word artists who, because spoken word in a poetic world is not really out there like that. For people who want to go into see spoken word, they usually will go to like slam competitions or something in that nature. So me, not me, but my friend who asked to help her in this pretty much search the IG world for like any type of spoken word poetry, because it's such a beautiful thing when it comes from the poet and them speaking it, because you get to hear the raw emotion from it and how it really should sound in their creativity.
And then, what's a poetic community?
A poetic community is a poetic community. It's it's just a community of like, of poets who band together of trying to, just express themselves in a certain way. And a poetic community is a perfect, like a family of poets, because there's so many people who write poetry and their work is not, how should I put it, is not presented all the time, you
Yeah.
know and when we came to this decision of trying to create a page for like, people who trying to share their work in a positive way, we'll do that for them, because some of them, there's so many talented artists out there who are not able to reach out to the masses. And if I'm able to help somebody, or the team is able to help somebody, I feel a little bit better at the end of the day, that their work was able to be seen by other people that most likely would not be seen.
Word, word, word. Okay, so how is poetry therapy for you?
Amazing. Amazing. 2020, man, was just such a roller coaster ride of a year. You really learn a lot about yourself, and I really thought I was emotionally strong. I thought I was really, that machismo type of guy, type of thing. And you know you go through a lot in a couple months of quarantine, of not being able to see your friends, not able to see your family, because you don't know what this whole virus thing that was going on, and other things just adds up to it. And um and poetry therapy it's a great way to express how you really feel emotionally with your own self. It's one of those type of things where, how should I put it? It's one of those type of things where you're really expressing who you really are in poetry. You're not holding back on anything. And it's just a good way to say, this is me. This is me. And I always told myself that I only write for myself. I don't write for no one else. I always write for myself. Um, I try to avoid any type of negative criticism if it comes my way, because I don't write for anyone else. I just write for myself to make sure I'm okay. And this is how I
Yeah.
feel.
So you also host lives yourself.
Hmm.
You call them the Poets Cookout.
The Poets
Love
Cookout.
that. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So how did you get started doing that, and how can someone get involved in that?
Oh man, it's a whole crazy story about how I got into the
Oh,
the
okay.
the the Poets Cookout. So, um, oh, we have time.
Yeah.
Oh, we got time.
I mean,
Okay.
like, are you gonna go on for like an hour? Because I do gotta clock back into work.
No. So a quick on how I got into the Poets Cookout. So I was originally in another like community, where they're pretty much India based out there. So they needed an American on the West Coast who wanted to, hey, do you want to do a live? And I was like, sure, I think I could do this. Why not? So I jump in, and then I get to see um like trying to work as a team on getting into these lives. But not everyone has the same vision. Not everyone has the same. um I'm all about the poet. I am all
Yeah.
about the poet. I am not trying to. I always say this. I'm trying to save the world one poem at a time.
Mm.
That's like one of my mottos. I try to save one poem at a time. Try to save the world one poem at a time. And this person who was in charge of this group of us, he was running it like a dictatorship, and I was not about that. Like he
Mm.
was looking at this like more of a profit type of
Yeah.
situation. I'm like, poets are not for profit. People are really
Mm.
expressing themselves how they really feel, and we're not for profit. So I pretty much got the whole team that was there with me to move to a new community, which I created the community that we were talking about earlier. And we left that group because they didn't have that positive image of it. So I was like, I want to take the Poets Cookout and I want to just make it into my own thing and get the right people involved so we can express positivity in our own words. And that's how the Poets Cookout, kind of came upon it. Kind of like started off kind of iffy, and then just took that into our now positive community.
That's so awesome how you started that.
Yeah.
Okay. Who do people say you look like?
Oh shit. I don't know. I don't think I have a doppelganger out there who kind of looks
You
like
do.
me.
You look like someone.
Who do I look?
It's kind of like a marriage between like, oh my God, what's his name? It's kind of like a marriage between Gael Garcia Bernal. Do you know who that is?
I do not. Now I'm really interested.
What?
I
Oh
do
my
not.
God, love him.
I
But
do
you have a very nice face, regardless, though. Is that okay to say? Is that
not.
okay?
I think we're able to say that. It's okay. No worries.
Okay.
No worries. No worries.
Sorry, God, I can't believe I said
It's
that.
okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. Tell her
Tell her
one of your poems. Tell her.
my first one.
Do you have a hard time saying I love you?
I did. I did. Um, I was really bad at expressing my emotions with my like significant others. I was really bad at that. Um, there was a point where I was just like, why am I not able to say this? Why am I not able to say how I really feel? Because I always tend to push away the people I love further away from me. As
Yeah.
time got further, and it's one of those type of things. That saying is like, it's you don't know what you have until it's gone type of thing, and it's real because you be like, I really love this person, but I was never able to really truly say I love you, until it's too late, and most of my poetry, you know, it's all about, it's pretty much a story of me, of just trying to find myself and just trying to shed off this invulnerability that I had and just be as vulnerable as I can. So that first poem, when I wrote it, that's a true story. That was pretty much how it went down.
Loving you is like trying to control lightning in the sky. What does that mean?
You know how lightning, when it kind of just cracks in the sky, you can't control it. It goes all over the place.
Yeah.
It's one of those type of things where you just don't know what direction it's gonna go. You know, you just don't know. And loving you is like trying to control lightning in the sky. You just don't know what direction it's gonna go to. And you can try to say all the right things, but at the end of the day, you just don't know where it's gonna be ending up at.
Wow. Is Romeo and Juliet a love story?
I will say yes, but it's also a tragedy. It is also a
What?
tragedy. Um,
Why do you think that?
the whole ending of it, it's a tragedy. You know, it's just, you know,
Yeah.
they go through all this trouble to try to to try to be together, to try to be in love with each other, and look what happens at the end. You know,
Yeah.
they don't even end up being together. So I'll say the first couple acts, it is a love story, but at the end it just becomes a whole tragedy, and you just be like, holy shoot, what did I really just read, or what did I just watch? Because it's a really sad ending. You know, any Romeo Juliet movie, it always ends the same way.
So do you really believe that it's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all?
Love is sacred. I think everyone should love at one point in their time. We as humans, I think we search love almost on a daily basis. You know, we as human beings, we want to be loved. We want love at some point in our lives, you know, because who are we without love? We at some point always loved something when we were little to adults. You know, anyone who says they never loved anything, I think they loved something, but they forgot what it was,
Yeah.
you know, and that's the sad part of it. I think everyone should love at one point. Everyone needs to love something at one point because that defines what a human being is.
Yeah. True, true, true. Okay. Breakfast or dinner?
I'm a breakfast person for sure. I will wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm already making myself something to eat. Like I if I don't eat something in the morning, I'm having a cranky day. Yeah,
What time do you usually go to bed?
I usually well, I like to say that I'm a very functional person who doesn't sleep so much. I go to sleep like at 1 at times, and I wake up like at 5 or 6. So
What?
I don't get the full 8 hours of the day of sleep that are
Lucky.
recommended. You know, I really don't. But I'm a functional person at that. Ever since college, that has been my schedule. You know,
Oh, what'd you go to school for?
criminology,
What? How cool is that?
criminology. Mm-hmm.
How cool is that? You wouldn't I would have never guessed.
Not not everyone knows what I really do. You know, it's a crazy thing when people ask, you know, like, hey, so
Are you allowed to stay?
yeah,
Can I ask?
yeah, I am I've been for 7 years. I've been a probation officer for 7 years now, going on my eighth year. I supervise youth, and I supervise now the adults in the homeless caseload. So you know, a lot of people have like this negative image of what a PO is. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I say a PO wears so many different hats because it's not all about, oh, we're just gonna go into your house and we're gonna we're gonna make sure we take you in type of stuff. No, it's a whole different world of of law enforcement because we're more of a how should I put this, rehabilitation. So you know, we're pretty much their first point of contact after they get out of a system. You know, and I always do my best, no matter what the situation was. I'm making sure that this person will successfully complete probation. This person will successfully get a job. This person will successfully get all the, you know, basic things back in order to be a functional, you know, citizen again. Because some people have
Yeah.
been locked up for 10, 12 years and they don't even know how to use a phone sometimes. They don't know, you know, what help is out there. So it's, you know, it's on me to make sure that they get the necessary help that they get. Especially me working with the homeless population is so difficult because they don't got an address for me to go to. You know,
Yeah.
I'm constantly out in the field making contacts with them, and you know, just giving them basic necessities of hey, go to the shelter to get food, water. You know, here's a tent, here's a backpack. You'd be surprised of how many people sleep just on the concrete, and it's very sad because I don't think no one should really be living like that. You know, some of them actually do it as a choice, not
Yeah.
knowing that there's help out there for people to, for anybody. You know, I always say closed mouths don't get fed. I say that a lot to them. You know, if you don't communicate well with me, I'm not going to be able to help you out to your fullest. You know, and
That's such a
that's my biggest key of things.
that's such a fulfilling job that you have.
Thank you, thank you. I do miss working with the youth. The youth are a very interesting population to work with because you know they think that they're already grown men, they're already grown people, little grown people, and you know, and I always say and I always tell them, and I grew up in a bad neighborhood. I grew up knowing what gunshots were being popped in the air already by the age of 10. You know, house been shot up, my neighbors, you know, were drug dealing. I know the whole thing. I know their language, I know the lingo. So I'm always telling them like, man, I could have easily been on your side. Easily. You know, but it's all about making the right choices in life sometimes. It's all about
Yeah.
it's all about surrounding yourself with the people who are going to guide you the right way at the end of the day. You know, so I miss working with the youth because I see that they're able to not understand, but I'm able to plant the seeds better on a young adult than a grown man sometimes who are already stuck in their ways. And I got to just like, all right, start from point A and guide them, you know? So, yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. Okay, where can we like you, stalk you, follow you, all that fun stuff?
Oh, shoot. Well, I only I only have my IG page here, my poetry page, and then you know that's pretty much where I'd be posting all my stuff at and my poems and whatnot. So that's one of my main source of getting in contact with me at Alejandro underscore Writes underscore.
And then final question. What does paradise look like to you?
Paradise. Somewhere in the beach. Somewhere in the beach. With my feet in the sand, with a nice little drink on my hand, and just looking at the sunset somewhere, man. I'm a really simple person. I really don't look for the big things. You know, as long as if I'm surrounded with friends and family, you know, a good time, man, I'll be happy. That'll be paradise for me. You know, maybe an Xbox in there too. An Xbox would be
Oh
cool.
my God.
That'd be cool. But I'm a simple person, man. That right there would be cool, man. Just being surrounded with friends and family, because I'm a social person as best as I can. So, yeah, that is my paradise.
Well, I really, really appreciate you taking the time out to talk to me today. Thank you so much for your patience. And thank you so much for all the hard work that you do, not only for the poetry community, but for the community that you're surrounded with in real life as well.
Oh no, that's this is what I do, man. I've always been a person who likes to help people out. You can ask any of my friends, anybody who has been in contact with me via poetry. I'm all about helping out other people. You know, I almost say that I'll put myself second as long as I'm able to help someone out. It just that's I guess my purpose that I've been brought in, that I just like to help.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, Alex or Alejandro. What should do you prefer?
Either or is the same thing. You know,
Okay.
Alejandro is in Spanish. You know.
Thank you so much for your time, and I'm gonna message you. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Bye.